one basic principle that I want to tell you is that this is what I've learned from many teachers across the world. Never mix your practice with teaching. Your individual practice is different, and when you teach, that is different. So your teaching is only teaching, and your doing is different from that. Don't practice along with the class. This is, some of you may find it surprising. How is that possible? You may get surprised, but I have found this with my experience and with my observations and churning those observations.
So there are teachers. So what you're trying to say is that there are teachers who actually try to blend their own practice along with the teaching because they don't get time to
Yes,
teach outside of the class.
yes, this is happening.
Okay.
So they do their practice along with the class. Now this is a compromise. I'll tell you why, and correct me if I'm wrong. See, when you teach, you have to observe what the student is doing. Okay. Now, if you do at that time and then teach, one thing is that you cannot observe what the person is doing, the student is doing, and you cannot do also. You will do one Surya Namaskar. I will tell you. Generally, what they do is they will show Ekam, inhale, Dvi, exhale. One or two steps they will do, and then they will go into the class and check what they are doing. Now, by that time, some of the student may not be able to do what is Chatwari. Then the teacher will come back again and do Chatwari next step. Now, in
So
that
both
process,
so both the teachers practice as well as the students practice are both compromised, and it's actually
yeah,
so keeping them separate is, I think, like
yes,
you said.
you have to keep it separate. See, I'll tell you, your practice is your practice.
So does this mean, Shiva, that the demonstrations are fewer in that you rely more on verbal instructions while you're teaching and less on
Yes.
demonstrations?
So what I do, I'll tell you. One day of a week, I keep it on Saturdays. One day of a week, it's about 2 hours. I do it from 4 o'clock to almost 6 o'clock. That is the day when I demonstrate. And that time I will not teach. I'll ask all the people to attend that class and show them exactly what is it, how to do everything, every breath, every step, everything is explained in that class. And I expect all the students to attend that class. Many of them don't attend, that's a different story. Ah. And then, so that's where they observe me. When I teach, they don't observe me. I observe them. Now, I'll tell you. See, have you seen Patabi Joyce? He's one
No,
of the most,
yes,
yeah, you know him, right, Ati?
I know of him. Yes.
Now, he equates this with a story. He equates, now again, that story I'm trying to connect. Now, there is one coconut tree, and the teacher is teaching the student how to climb that coconut tree. So the teacher, he is very old person, okay, so he cannot climb also, but he knows every step, every trick of that climbing. He knows everything. So he will tell, okay, now you have to put the rope on the leg, okay, and then he will tell, okay, this is how you to hold it. Maximum, he'll show one step how to catch the tree or something. He'll show. Now there is only one tree; both cannot climb at the same time. Okay, climbing is done by the student. So student will catch. Now he will correct him how to catch it, how to hug the tree, how to keep the leg, the feet inward. Everything he will teach him. Now the student takes the first step, then he'll ask him to take the next step. Everything. Now the student climbs the tree. The teacher's job is not to climb. Teacher's job is to enable the student to climb.
Be a catalyst. Yeah.
Yeah,
Mm.
and teach him and ensure that he doesn't get injured. He doesn't fall. He doesn't take the wrong bus, thinking that he'll reach the right place.
Right.
Now some people sitting on the wrong bus thinking, हाँ मैं वहाँ पहुँच जाएगा, लेकिन वहाँ नहीं पहुँचेगा, आप गलत बस पे बैठे. So the teacher's job, because many times after reaching the destination, the people find, hurry, how I reached this place? I was planning to reach the other place. I'm telling you, see, one small trick changes the whole game.
Absolutely. I've I'm getting reminded of this example, in this book called Atomic Habits, where he talks about a ship sailing from sailing across the ocean, and the just a 1 degree difference at the start, right, actually ends up with the ship reaching a completely different place, many perhaps hundreds or even thousands of miles away, from where they were originally planning to be. So I guess the role of the teacher is to make sure that the realignment, or making sure that as and when there are any deviations, you gently get the student back to the direction which is more accurate, right? But help the student kind of. I think I understand what it is that you're trying to say. It's growing the student is the primary goal, right?
Correct. Maybe you put it right. I mean, see, what he said was, now I learned something from him. So I look forward to these stories, no? That what I picked up from you now is that 1 degree turn, no? You
Right.
said about that 1 degree turn,
Right,
when
right.
it goes far, how much that 1 degree changes to many
Right,
miles.
right, 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 right.
Exactly. Now I got one more example. I learned from you today.
Sure.
This is what I know. This is what I like in the profession of teaching. Every day you just learn something or the other.
We do, we do, we do.
Exactly. No, it's same like, no, in Bangalore. You take the flyover. If you miss that flyover, gone.
That's
You'll
that's
be another 10 kilometers away, and you'll take a U-turn and then come back all the way
not
down.
not fun in Bangalore traffic at all. So the
Equating this into the yoga principle now. See, if I tell people, you have to nip that mistake in the bud itself, like what he said. So a person starts breathing the wrong way, learning all the difficult asanas, everything. After 25 years of practice, I find my breath is not correct. Now see, so that is the job of the teacher. How to correct it in the beginnings. Okay, those basic things cannot go wrong. Those fundamentals should be taken right. If you
I'm
get that right, yeah, you can travel long. Yeah,
I'm
you can.
reminded of another guru of mine, who used to say, it's not practice that's important, it's correct practice that's important,
Yeah,
and it's a very it, not too many people actually end up emphasizing that, but I think it's the because what habits are so fast to build, that the moment you practice something the wrong way, it becomes a habit, and it's actually hard to change it after some time.
it's
And
very difficult to unlearn that. Very difficult. I'm telling you, I've seen people very difficult to bring it back. No, they find
exactly.
it very uncomfortable.
Correct,
It's
correct,
not
correct,
possible only
correct,
sometimes.
correct, correct,
So
correct,
put them in the right track in the beginning.
correct,
So
correct,
as I
correct.
said, the teacher's job is that. The teacher's job is not to exhibit our skills.
Right,
We may be good in many asanas.
right,
Yes, whatever you want to do, put it in a separate class.
right,
Like, no.
right,
So that's a different story.
right,
Don't mix that your skills into the class. You may
right,
be. Now, if you look at, as I said, like Patabi Joyce, he was the one of the most influential yoga teachers in the globe, in the world. You cannot. There are other like B.K. Iyengar, all influential teachers. Now, if you look at Patabi Joy's class and just YouTube research, he will not do any single step in that class. The full 1.5
it's all
hours,
verbal instructions.
his mind is completely on what he talks. He observes the student very, very minutely, what step they take, what breath they take, where they look, all the three pillars, no, Trishtana of yoga.
Right,
Okay. One is the breath, one is the drishti, and one is the posture. These are the three pillars of yoga. How you breathe, where you look, and what you do. These three pillars are the things that he corrects. He will not demonstrate anything. So because the teacher's idea is to bring that student up into that level. So never, this is the first principle I learned. I don't mix doing with teaching. So teaching is done separately.
so
I
you
expect to learn in that other classes where that interactive session which I keep, where I show the things, right? All those explanations are done at that time, and you are supposed to pick up those things and implement that knowledge in the live classes. In live classes, very minimal of very minimum demonstration, very minimum interactions. It's a live class.
mm,
Yeah, it's a mix of people. See, students, they are all they all want to practice. Okay, they need different students. Some people are new, some people are old, and everybody cannot be in the same level. So when you start explaining things to a newcomer, the person who has been practicing for 5 years is also in the class. Now he is out of place. Okay, so this kind of disparity will happen in the class.
Right, 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 right,
You
right.
cannot have that in a live class. You have to continue that flow. So it's a difficult job to manage that class. But
Correct, correct.
the best way is to teach when you teach, do when you do.
Right,
Don't mix the practice and your teaching. This is the
right,
first
right,
principle I learned.
right, 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 right.